Right guys, so this week I have painted not loads. I got 5 Deathwatch Bikers done, 2 frag cannons and a shotgun, an Inceptor and 6 Reavers. Unfortunately, they're already packed away because I've been using them in game. Lucy managed to get these guys done almost. Literally all she's got left to do is to do the purple bits on, like around the mouth and the, I don't even know what it's called, like the gaps, the fleshy bits basically, and she's done them as well, so I'm excited to get them done. Bases are sprayed as well, so she'll be doing them when she next paints. The Khitan has had some work done on it. It's now been sprayed. I will be doing a series on this, so you'll see the building and stuff of this. He skipped leg day at the gym. No, I'm kidding. He's got the pads are behind me, but I'm painting them separately. Of course, spraying them red with the airbrush. And I've been working on the Daughters of Cain. Finally, Lucy's painted up the pink hairs for me, and I've started doing bits of gold. I need to get these done. I'm really excited to get these done. So that's what I've been working on. Now, I did miss last week due to having an exam at college and a few other things going on behind the scenes. Unfortunately, I didn't have time. But there is a lot of pictures. I may not get through all of as many comments and details as I would normally like due to the vast majority of the pictures. But I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that has submitted pictures. And especially to the new Patreon on the channel, Ian Minto, and you're going to see some of his work here. And I will be playing against Ian in a couple of weeks' time, so check that out. And yeah, thank you very much to everybody that supported. And let's take a look at what everyone's been working on. So here we go, guys. We're kicking it off straight away with young Philip. Philip, you are a lifesaver, you are my best mate, and I love you. And he's been incredibly busy. He spent a lot of money down at Warhammer World when we went down last week, and you'll be able to see the battle report next week. If you are a Patreon, of course, that is available right now. 8,500 points of all 4 Gods of Chaos versus Imperium. So go and check that out, and of course thank you very much to everybody that is already a Patreon. Phil picked up quite a bit of Hobbit stuff, some Space Marine stuff for his Imperial Fists, and he picked up a few Tyranid bits and pieces as well. So we've got a couple of guys here from the Hobbit. I don't know who they are, Phil, I'm really sorry. And then we've got some of his dwarves as well. He did pick up some Age of Sigmar dwarves, and him and Lucy actually had a game on Saturday. Unfilmed, of course, because they weren't. Not everyone's models was painted up. And Lucy used her Slanesh. She's excited, of course, about what is coming for Age of Sigmar 2.0. So we shall see. Phil has also built a Leviathan with a double Gravflux Bombard, and of course a barbed Hero Duel, because I've got the scythed Hero Duel. Even back in 7th, we both he preferred the shooty one, I preferred the combat one. Which is why I love Phil, because his nids are completely opposite to the way that I like to play. And then we've got a Doridio, and I think he picked up 3 mortars, but he's got at least one of them built. Apparently the top Invun bubble weapon thing for the Doridio isn't out yet, so he's waiting for that. And he also picked up his Sontanans for Doctor Who from Battle Bunker. Battle Bunker now is stocking a whole host of other models and game systems. Of course, Doctor Who is one of them. Jacob from the Warp Forge and Phil play quite a bit of Doctor Who. So if you're interested in that, go and check out Jacob from the Warp Forge as well. Next up, we've got Andrew Newton. He's been working on some Wild West Exodus models. I love the theme of this. It is incredibly much like the Will Smith Wild Wild West film. So I really love this, Andrew. Next up, we've got Andrew Snowden, who's been building and painting some terrain. And of course, deep in thought in a game there. This terrain is very orky and really cool. I wish I could paint terrain up like this. I need to revisit a lot of mine. So Andrew, you're really giving us some good inspiration there. Next up, we've got Bazaar from Underdog Painting. He's decided to start Age of Sigmar, so he picked up the Gore Chosen box for the 4 characters there, and of course his Admech is getting expanded as well. So go and check out Bazaar on Underdog Painting on YouTube. He's also working on some Flesh Tearers. Lovely seeing as many Dreadnoughts there. I'm a big fan of Dreadnoughts. And he's also working on some Death Guard as well. You may have seen him start this one 2 weeks ago. And I've always said Death Guard has been very popular this year. Obviously since the Codex and stuff. But I love how dirty and grimy they are. And I know I say this every time I see Death Guard, but I really do. Next up, we've got Bryn, and Bryn has purchased some Idoneth Deepkin. So, of course, you can expect to see them on the channel very soon. So we've got 10, I want to say, Namati Reavers. And he's also got the King. And he sent us a picture on Saturday of 2 sharks and 6 eels. And, of course, he's built one of the sharks already. His son, Daryl, I think's about, forgive me, Bryn, I think he's 4. And he saw Bryn building the shark and he was like, big shark! Because that's what it is. But yeah, I love the Idoneth models and I can't wait to see what Bryn does with the Leviathan. Next up, we've got Callum Howell, who's been working on some Necromunda for Aidan Connor from Durham. I love the Necromunda models and I wish I had time to play them. But these guys look absolutely outstanding, Callum, so really well done. Next up, we've got Chris Crudis. Chris, you'll have to forgive me, I think this is ball action, but he's clearly been building them while he's at work, as we all do, guilty as charged as well. So really nice work, Chris, and I hope to see these in the future, especially in some games. Next up, we've got Craig Dolan from Kiblams. Go and check him out on YouTube. And he's built an Iron Warrior Warpsmith, I think is the right word. And I love this. I think it's one of the Cataphractii Praetors, and of course with the servo arms and the hammer and everything on there. Very Iron Warriors. He's also been making some Titanicus terrain ready for when that comes out. A lot of people are very excited about it. I love the models. I think they look absolutely amazing, the level of detail on them. Unfortunately, it's not something I'll be getting into. It's hard enough trying to keep up with 40k in Age of Sigmar, let alone additional games. However, I hope to live what I want to see through you guys. So thanks very much for sharing this, Craig. And of course, he's also been doing his own Mortalis board. And if you go and check him out on Instagram as well, he even built a 2D Necromunda board. So I think it was like, imagine a gaming table with his own Mortalis, but turned vertical, so it was like up and down levels, like a spaceship. Really fantastic stuff, Craig. So thank you very much for sharing. Next up, we've got Daniel Friedrichsen. Daniel is a massive Blood Angel fan, and that's how we initially got talking when Angel's Blade came out, actually. Daniel hasn't done any modelling this week because he's been looking after this lovely, cheerful little poochie. I'm not sure what breed it is, but this is awesome. Lucy was very, what's the word? Pining for the puppy. So thanks for sharing that, Daniel. Next up, we've got David Gray. David has been working on an Abaddon custom model and a Chaos Lieutenant as well. I love these models, David. The hair, I presume, is still the Abaddon head with his gigantic top knot, but nevertheless, a much better pose than the original, and the Lieutenant looks awesome as well. He's also painted up a Crimson Fist for a local painting competition, I suppose. I love the weathering that you've done around the bases of the feet. Even the little street lamp, the weathering on that is fantastic, and the blue is very dark and gritty. Next up, we've got Dazza Brain. You may have seen Dazza's Storm Fiends 2 weeks ago. Well, now he's added even more. The plume of smoke coming out of that gun is phenomenal. The skin tones are so bright and fleshy, and the purples are fantastic as well. And he's managed to finish a second one off as well, so fantastic work there, Dazza. Next up, we've got Dylan, and I want again a massive shout out to Dylan for the work that he's done and the donations that he's made to the channel with models. Really appreciate it, Dylan. He's made a Redemptor and he's been adding all the little symbols and stuff on with green stuff. The other shoulder pad with the Power Fist even has stuff on there as well. Dylan is awesome with green stuff, and his base is starting to look phenomenal as well. And he's also been building a squad of Hellblasters as well. You can see there that he's made some of his own shoulder pads as well. And he made some Deathwatch ones out of blue stuff for me. So thank you very much once again, Dylan. Next up, we've got Ian, the latest Patreon on the channel. So thank you very much for your support, Ian. Ian is a phenomenal painter. I mean, look at these. That's a Leviathan Dread with a double Storm Cannon and a Chaplain Dread. I will be playing Ian in around about 2 weeks' time, so you can probably catch that battle report in about 4 weeks. And I'm very much looking forward to playing against Ian. It's going to be 3,000 points of Tyranids. Next up, we've still got more work from Ian here, a Calexis Assassin. I love the new plastic models. I've got the older metal ones. They serve the purpose when I eventually bring them out, which reminds us I've still got Greyfax as well, and she hasn't been on the table. But nevertheless, the base in here is also phenomenal, Ian, so thank you very much for sharing. Next up, we have Jewel Knight Jess. Jess, I actually met at Warhammer World, finally, last week. It was an absolute pleasure to meet her, and she's cracked out Gavriel Shuahart for the Stormcast, and Belladonna there for Necromunda. I love that Jess just picks models that she likes and puts just a few bits and pieces together, like the Necromunda and the few Stormcast that she's done. Really, really nice work, Jess. Absolutely love them. She's also painted up a repulsor for her Dark Angels. This looks absolutely great. She posted a picture saying finally done, so many parts when she built it. I agree. The grav repulsor bits around the bottom, I think each one of them is like 3 parts. Shouldn't have been that many. Next up, we've got Kevin Way, and he's been building some more cars for Gaslands. Seen a couple of pictures of the games that he's been playing, and they look absolutely fantastic. To be honest, I would really like to go with this. I think it's pretty cool. Very Mad Max feel as well. So I think I'm probably going to have to go and watch them films again. So thanks very much for sharing that, Kev. Go and check Kev out on YouTube on Rage Against the Dice. They cover all sorts of different games on there. Next up, we've got Lee Hamilton, and Lee, this isn't models. Lee's on his honeymoon. Lee got married this week, so of course a massive congratulations to Lee, Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton. So yeah, I don't blame you for not doing any models, and I need to swap a week's worth of painting for a week's worth of lazing around in a hammock. So I hope you enjoy your time away, Lee, and I look forward to seeing what you crack on with when you get back. So thank you very much for putting a downer on my Monday night. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations. Next up, we've got Liam Suter. Liam's been on the channel ages ago, but he's been busy working. And with me being at college, we've never really been able to catch each other. He's enjoying his skirmish games, much like Jacob and Phil at the minute. And correct us if I'm wrong, this is Van Saar for Necromunda. And the white, Liam, this white is phenomenal. You've still managed to keep it clean, but very dark at the same time. So really, really nice work. And I hope that we can get your Eldar back on the channel very soon. Next up, we've got Michael Botterill. Michael has been insanely busy this week, or 2 weeks rather. He's gotten 2 trolls painted up there for Blood Bowl. And I love this model because he's thrown a goblin. I just think it's really cool. He's also done I can't think of it. I don't know Heresy as well. But he's basically started his Death Guard off. He's got more Blood Bowl done. He's got more, I think it's Grack and Crambleberry. And he's even getting some Orcs done as well. So really, really good work, Michael. Fantastic to see how much you're cranking out. Next up, before we go forward as well, check out Edge of Empire. Michael's, what's it called? Vlog? Podcast. That's it, podcast. For lots and lots of heresy-based stuff. Next up, we've got Michael Sharp. Sharpie is painting up a Primaris Space Wolf army, ready for the Space Wolf Codex. So you'll hopefully get to see that if he doesn't move it along before we get a chance. I was looking forward to his Death Guard, but he's moved them on, unfortunately. But The Space Wolves are looking awesome, and I love the contrast of snow and lava to represent Fenris on the base. So really nice work there. Next up, we've got Mikey Mowat, and he's decided to pick up the new Khorne warband for Shadespire, and he's working on his NMM, non-metallic metals. He says it's not going well. I think this is incredible, Mikey. That knee pad and the gold, which is not gold, I can't even begin to imagine how to not paint in the colour that you think you should be painting. So this is looking really good, mate, and I can't wait to see what you do with the finished model. Next up, we've got Paul Spuddy Shaw, and he's working on his Alpha Legion now. So more 30k goodies, and he's got quite a lot of Marines on the go there, as well as the Praetor and a couple of characters there. I recognise the models, but I couldn't tell you what they're called. And of course, the Contemptor. Love the Contemptors. And he's also done more work on them Space Wolves that you saw a couple of weeks back. He just started on the Terminators, and now he's managed to get them almost finished. So really nice work, Paul. Next up, we've got Richard Hudspeth from Newcastle Warlords. Go and check out Newcastle Warlords if you live up there. They play all sorts of games. Really good turnout and a top-notch club. Unfortunately, I can't get up because I'm at college on the night that the clubs are on. But nevertheless, an awesome club, so go and check them out. Richard has actually had these commissioned, and they look beautiful. Richard, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you said they were by, but if anyone's interested, I presume Richard's going to be more than happy to oblige and pass details on. But these look beautiful, man. I mean, that crystal on the top of the Bastiladon, the stippling effect that's going up the side of the shell, even the base, it's very temple-esque of the Seraphon. So absolutely top-notch work, Richard. And I really hope that I can finally get a game in against you when the new Age of Sigmar drops. Next up, we've got Roger. Roger is one of the Patreons, so very much thanks for your support, Roger. He has been painting up some, this is not a test models, zombies for a different game. Roger paints all sorts for all different games. Massive gamer. And I love these. I've got no idea what they are, Roger, but they're fantastic. So thank you very much for sharing. He's also painted up a Kraken for Shadows of Brimstone. Again, more varied games, and I love that you guys are sharing all of this with us. And then he's also been working on some little rat hounds as well. I'm sorry, Roger, I don't know what they are, but they look so cool. I love all the post-apocalyptic feel games that are going around at the moment. Next up, though, we've got Sam Goodwin. Sam, I didn't get a chance to play his Imperial Fists before he actually sold them off as a commission. And he was asked to do a few more units to finish the army off. So, of course, there is Lysander. He's also started playing around with some Orcs. And there is some Imperial Fist Terminators. And that reminds me, now I know what colour helmet to give the Primaris Captain that I'm painting up for Henry. So really nice work there, Sam. And then, of course, two Razorbacks looking really dirty and grimy. Fantastic stuff on them. And he's also been working on his AdMech. I lent him a Datasmith and 4 robots for a tournament that he went to. And he loved them so much, he's gone out and picked them up, and he's finished off the Datasmith. And I know earlier today, just before I started doing the video, he posted a picture of the Castellan robot, and it looks phenomenal. So really nice work there, Sam. If anyone is interested in getting some commission work done, Sam does do commissions, and he's done quite a lot for Tabletop Tactics as well. Next up, we've got Scott Longworth. Scott has decided to start into Age of Sigmar. And he started with a Start Collector Nurgle box set, and he's took the bull by the horns and spread the Nurglings out amongst more bases, so that he actually ends up getting more just by bulking them up a little bit with some cork. So really nice idea, Scott, and I think I'm going to do that with the Ripper Swarms that James sent me. So thanks for sharing. Next up, we've got Stephen Kalimboski. and he's been busy with Drop Fleet and more papercraft as well. There's actually 2 Lehman Russ that he's getting built up this week. The papercraft stuff, I don't know how you do it, mate, because it looks unbelievably detailed. So really, really nice stuff. I loved the big stuff that you shared last week, like the Thunderhawk and things like that. So really, really nice work on that. And then third from last, we've got Stephen Dunn. Again, one of the Patreons, so thank you very much for your support, Stephen. I'm going to be gaming Stephen again very, very soon, when we can work around both of our shifts in college and stuff. But Stephen has been playing a lot of ball action over the last couple of weeks. So he started painting up his models for that, but managed to smash out an Ethereal and a Blood Angel Captain as well. And you can see here, I'm sorry, Stephen, I don't know the names of all of the ball action stuff, but we've got a tank and quite a lot of different infantry that he's managed to get painted up, and a couple of heavy weapons teams as well. I love the basin that you've got done, because I know you're not a fan of basin, but what you've done here looks really, really nice, mate, so really well done on that. Second from last, we have Terry. Terry runs Demonscapes, who produce resin bases. The ones that you've seen on my Death Watch are produced by Terry, as are my Khorne Demons. My 30k AdMech and my Daughters of Cain will be going on them as well. So go and check Terry out. Really, really cheap, awesomely detailed resin bases in any size that you want in several different schemes. And I hope I've inspired Terry to do his ogres, because he told me that he actually asked what size bases the Giants go on. This is the really, really old, like 3rd edition Fantasy Giant. I love this model and I would love to get hold of it. And I love the one with the mask on and stuff, the chaosy looking one. These are fantastic, Terry, and I wish you lived closer so we could meet up and have a game. He's also getting all of his other ogres rebased as well, and he's managed to get a Tyrant on Rhinox. I don't know if that's actually a valid model anymore for in-game, but even if you've just built and painted this guy up just for display purposes, he looks brilliant, mate. And then last but not least at all, we've got Tom Mika. Tom is a big Slaanesh player for Age of Sigmar, and him and Lucy have exchanged a couple of messages about playing and stuff like that. And we're all super excited for all the Slaanesh releases and stuff that's been mentioned on the community page. But in the meantime, Tom's decided to take up Necromunda with his Gene Stealer cult, and this is the force that we've put together. So I look forward to seeing where you go with these, Tom. And that's it, guys. What are we at? We are at 21 minutes. This has got to be the longest League of Artisans I've done by far. So thank you very much to everybody that has sent in pictures, that has supported the channel, made donations by models or PayPal. A massive shout out to Mr. Rick Lewis as well, who actually sent me half of the money towards a new webcam so that you can actually have 2 cameras when I do my live streams in future. But thank you very much to everybody. Please support us via Patreon if you're able to do so, for as little as $1 a month for early access to battle reports. And of course you can pick the lists, the battles that you want to see, and so forth. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for everybody that has submitted the pictures, and we will see you again next time.